To the seventh episode of All Sports Talk. I'm Patrick Gary.
I'm Costudo.
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about players that got released in the NFL, where we think they're going to go in free agency, and players that got tagged. So first off, Dak Prescott, he just signed 4 years, $160 million contract. I think this was bad for the Cowboys. Obviously, it's great for Dak, but not a fan of it for the Cowboys as they have other players to pay, and they're not going to have the money to keep them.
Yeah, exactly. Damn, Dak's making a lot of money. You better hope that the leg is a lot better now. For Dak, it's great. For the Cowboys, I think it's too much money, honestly. He's making, I think, the second most annually right now. He's definitely top three most annual. But I don't know. It's a interesting contract. It's as I said, it's good for the Cowboys in terms of they have their franchise quarterback now. But besides that, that thing just too much money.
Yeah, like you said, you hope his leg's good. Hope that O-line blocks for him and he's not getting sacked like every play. And God forbid he gets injured again, because with the D line of the football team with Chase Young and Montez Sweat there, and the Giants bring back Leonard Williams, I think who had 10.5 sacks last year. And the Giants also have a good D line. God forbid he gets hurt, but you gotta pray he's healthy coming back.
Yeah. If he plays well and doesn't get injured, 40 million might be deserved. Who knows?
And he was
But
on pace to have an MVP type year as well.
yeah, of course, that's how he gets the money. If he wasn't playing so well, he probably wouldn't have gotten the 40 million. But he's still getting paid either way. A lot of money, going to his way.
Remember, people thought Wentz was better than him.
Yeah.
He's better than Wentz.
Everyone makes fun of Dak Prescott. If you're the Cowboys quarterback, you're gonna get made fun of on the internet, no matter how good you play.
Yeah. You could be
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, and you would still get made fun of.
Yeah.
So, one wide receiver off the board, Allen Robinson, he just got tagged. Let's pray for him. Nothing's wrong with him, but
Nothing's wrong with him. He's just on the Bears.
exactly, he's on the
He's
Bears.
just stuck there on the Bears for another year.
Another year with a bad quarterback.
Yeah, unless they somehow pull off Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know. We could give the Bears fans some hope. Jesus.
Let's just give Allen Robinson some hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough, unlucky, unlucky for him at least.
It really sucks for him.
Yeah. Damn, what Child people. But yeah, the Bears, they're not gonna compete unless they get a quarterback. They'll get like second, third-ish. Won't really matter because they won't make the playoffs.
How are you gonna compete with Aaron Rodgers in your division?
Yeah. Unless they do something like really good, like the draft or free agency, I don't really see them doing too much in the season.
Yeah, maybe a wild card, but
yeah, what first round exit,
Yeah, first round exit, and then Kenny Galladay not getting the tag. Let's go. As a Giants fan,
he was freed.
I'm hyped as a Giants fan. He's gonna come here now. He's gonna come to the Giants.
Maybe. Wouldn't be surprised with that.
I hope he comes to the Giants. And I saw Casey Hayward, who got released. I want either Galladay or Hayward.
Yeah, those would be nice.
Galladay, he can help out Daniel Jones. They have a good wide receiver. A good wide receiver one, I meant. Or if you get Hayward, another cornerback with Bradbury, who was elite last year.
Yeah.
I think he had the most pass deflections as any cornerback in the NFL.
The cornerback is a hard place to determine if they're good or not, honestly, because it's hard to determine that because you have all the arguments of, oh, he's so good you don't even throw at him, but then you have all arguments of, oh yeah, but when I did throw at him, he did good against it,
If you're a good cornerback, you're going to go up against the best wide receiver in that team.
Yeah.
So I think he really determined how that cornerback does against the wide receiver.
Yeah. What's his name? Revis? No one throwing at that man. Nobody throws at Rodriguez. That's just a death sentence.
Reus Island.
But like, yeah. Either way, they're both really good cornerbacks. Hayward will help any team, honestly. I could see him going either to the Giants or the Packers maybe if they have money. I don't know if they have money at this point.
I don't know either, but
They
Hayward
need
and
secondary. They need
Hayward
defense.
and Jari would. That's a deadly
Oh
secondary.
yeah, exactly.
Those two. I also heard the Giants might be trying to put Darnay Holmes, who was a rookie last year, who showed good lights of talent. They might make him the second cornerback. He played a lot of inside cornerback.
Slot. I mean nickel.
Yeah, he was pretty good last year. I think he was a
Yeah,
sixth. He was a late rounder.
yeah. Hoping the Jets do with Bryce Hall. Criminally fell to the fifth round. Either way, back to the other teams in the NFL. Chris Godwin tagged by the Buccaneers. Saving the Buccaneers a lot of money over the next few years, or then it's also getting time to pay him because they'll probably keep him long term.
And I think they lost. Was it Shaq Barrett?
Well, they didn't lose him yet, but yeah,
Oh well, he's a free agent in that.
he's gonna be free agent. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just brought back Levante David. Was it on a 2-year deal?
Yep.
That's good for their defense. And then Tom Brady, he has a 4-year deal. Will they pay him 4 years, but he could only play for 1 year? Was it?
Yeah, I think that's how. I don't even know. The NFL contracts are weird nowadays. Like
Yeah.
he's on the team until 2022, but it's a 4-year contract, which makes no sense. So I'm assuming they're paying him for 4 years, and then he plays 1 year of it.
I mean, I don't have
It's
to
a
look. I don't have to look at the money. I just know it's gonna be a good deal because it's Tom Brady. I
Tom
mean,
Brady. Yeah, he's all right.
you
This is
you
the
just
thing,
won the
right?
Super Bowl with him, so you're probably gonna win the division.
Yeah,
And you're gonna go to the playoffs. It's Tom Brady. Like,
yeah. I mean, Tom Brady is one of the smartest people on planet Earth. He knows how to actually make a team win a game. He motivates his defense a lot, motivates his receivers to get open, But seriously, he takes pay cuts, says his team can actually pay other players. Like, it's amazing how that works. Like, if your team doesn't have to pay you $40 million a year, they could pay other people to play on your team. That's
yeah.
a crazy concept, right? No one
and you
knows that, I guess.
and you
Tom
don't have
Brady's
to cut your O line.
exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of cutting your O line because you can't pay anybody because you paid your quarterback $45 million, the Chiefs cut Mitchell Schwartz, and Eric Fisher. So now Patrick Mahomes may be running 500 yards a game every game. He's playing as Bradley Chubb, Von Miller against the Broncos, right? Then you
Both
have
Joey Bosa on the
Joey
Chargers.
Bosa on the Chargers, and then you have the Raiders D line with Crosby, Farrell, and I forget the other player. Either way, you have to protect your quarterback. They don't seem to want to do that. Well, I know apparently they do because earlier today Mahomes did take some kind of pay cut so they have more money. I don't know how it works, but yeah, they should have a lot more money to pay some players.
Well, I think we know who they're going to be taking in the draft. Any offensive
And the
line.
offensive line available, yeah. Unless the Bills had to take the best offensive lineman available at the time, just to screw over the Chiefs, which I'd be fun. It would be really fun to see.
That would be funny. Like what the
That'd be great.
Cowboys did to the Eagles when they took
Yep.
CD. But I mean, it kind of screwed their defense over as
Oh
well
yeah, completely.
because their defense was bad
Oh yeah, they
last
got
year.
tortured. All right, so quarterbacks available. Like I guess the most notable quarterbacks that will be available are gonna be Alex Smith, Mitch Trubisky, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Tyrod Taylor maybe, Andy Dalton, RG3, Flacco, Jameis Winston, Blake Bortles, if you want to think about him, Nick Mullins, and that's about it.
I could see Marcus Mariota getting traded.
Oh yeah,
Probably Minshew's going to be getting traded somewhere.
definitely yeah.
Maybe Drew Lock getting traded.
I think that the I see this with Denver. I think Denver is gonna keep Drew Lock, and Ryan Fitzpatrick's gonna go there because Ryan Fitzpatrick definitely is not a bad quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback at all. So I can see him going there and competing with the spot for what's it called? For the starting quarterback position in Denver?
At Denver, they got talent with their wide receivers. They got Judy, Hamler, Sutton, Fant, and they also got Melvin Gordon and Philip Lindsay.
Yeah.
So there's talent there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, like they definitely has potential, and I can see them sticking with Matt Fitzpatrick for a year if they don't like what Drew Lock brings to the table.
And then also their defensive side, they got Chubb, Miller, Justin Simmons. They tagged. They're bringing back, and I think they're gonna go Caleb Farley or Patrick Surtain in the draft.
Yeah, definitely.
So help out that secondary. They won't win that division.
No,
They'll probably.
they'll be second. I'm assuming they'll be third,
I think the
third or
Raiders.
fourth.
I think they'll come in. I think they'll come in last. I think Raiders second, Chargers third. Just because Chargers, they're gonna have those unlucky losses there.
Yeah, I think that division is going to go Chiefs, Chargers, and Raiders or Broncos. Whoever just does stupid shit.
I mean, the Raiders, they're a good team. Like they start off really hot,
Yeah,
and then they just lose like 5 games, and they don't make the playoffs when you need to win
yeah.
like 1 game. The 5 main wide receivers, Corey Davis, Kenny Galladay, Will Fuller, Juju Smith, and Curtis Samuel.
Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that Juju's going to the Jets.
Yeah, I think Juju's going to the Jets.
Yeah, if he gets the opportunity to be in a big market and doing his TikTok dances in Times Square, oh, it's all over. It's all over, dude.
All over.
That deal is good as done. But seriously,
I
I
could,
could definitely see him there. He'd be a pretty good fit for just in New York in general. Like I was joking about, but like seriously, he'd be a good fit in New York.
him and Sam back together.
Yeah, and then they'll trade Sam about 3 days later.
Will Fuller, he's a free agent. I think he's going to the Packers.
Yeah, the Packers are definitely one of these free agents. I wouldn't be. Yeah, I think Will Fuller is probably the most like marquee one. Not marquee. He's the most like level-headed one. It's like he won't get the most money ever, but like he'll definitely be productive for the team.
Yeah, and he's fast, and you got Devontae Adams,
Yeah,
great route running, and then you have Aaron Rodgers, one of the most talented quarterbacks of all time.
exactly.
Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel. All right, I see him being a replacement to T.Y. Hill in Indianapolis.
I could see him going to Washington.
That's fair.
I think one wide receiver is going to Washington. Just
Definitely,
depends
yeah.
like which one. Same with the Giants. Like
Yeah,
it
I think
depends
Galladay is
what
going might
it
go to
just
the
depends what
Giants.
wide receiver they get. They're getting one wide receiver.
Yeah.
So I got Samuel going to Washington. And I have Galladay going to the Giants. I said that earlier. And then Corey Davis. I could see him going to the
He's a
Colts.
he's up in the air. I think
Yeah,
he can go to quite a few. Like, I haven't seen him like linked to a lot of teams.
maybe he goes back to Tennessee. They want to work out a deal.
Yeah,
I could
if
see
there's
that.
definitely a deal there, I could see him going there.
I could see him just like really just put any team.
Lions, pretty good fit.
Maybe the Rams.
Yeah, I heard. Hold on, who I heard someone going to the Rams.
So Chargers not giving Hunter Henry the tag. Kind of surprised on this one. I thought he was gonna get tagged or go back to the Chargers. Doesn't seem like he's going there. I could see the Patriots as a good fit for him. Uh, they just brought back Cam Newton. Try to give him some weapons. I think that stuff. Try to give Cam some weapons with Henry, Edelman. They probably won't win that division. I think the Bills will. They're one of the best teams in the AFC. But I could see them getting the third seed, but third place. Maybe I think it's gonna go Bills, Dolphins, maybe Patriots, then probably Jets.
Yeah,
You know, but I could definitely see Hunter Henry going to the Patriots.
yeah, that would be a great place for him to go. I mean, that offense tries off having a good tight end. Whenever they have a good tight end, they seem to always be able to do good. Obviously, there's Tom Brady, so I mean, no, there's no testament to that really. But I mean, having a wide receiver in that system, Belichick seems to really like it. So I would not be surprised with them going for Hunter Henry at all. I think it'd be a really good fit. Now they have Cam Newton. He's been in the system for a year, and he's got another year there. So Cam Newton having a actual weapon that isn't Julian Edelman will be really good for him, especially a tight end in the system. Even if they both have to learn it a little bit.
Yeah, I think that could be a really good duo, Kim and
Yes.
Henry.
Also, if the Chargers do not get Hunter Henry back, Kyle Pitts falls to 13. He's going 13, I think.
I think he's gonna get picked before.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he's one of the best talents in the draft.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think like talent wise, I think he goes Chase, Pitts, then probably Waddle and Smith.
All right.
But
Trevor
like
Lawrence doesn't exist. My bad.
I'm not counting
Okay,
quarterbacks,
fair.
but obviously Trevor Lawrence is the number one overall pick.
Yeah.
Probably Zach Wilson, but like wide receivers, tight end
Yeah,
wise,
and receiving talent. Yeah.
yeah, Pitts is probably two,
Yeah.
and then either Waddle, Smith, or Smith Waddle,
Yeah.
whatever you really think. But I think it goes Chase one, Pitts two.
Yeah,
So
probably.
one of those one of those two are definitely falling to 11. Not one
Yeah.
of those two. Chase is gonna get picked before 11, unless the Eagles decide to go be classic Eagles, and not take one of the top wide receivers, which I hope they do, or they decide to
They're
take
definitely
another
taking a
quarterback out of
receiver. They're
North Dakota State
definitely
University.
taking a receiver. Definitely.
I don't know. I think they're gonna take Trey Lance.
Well, that's for mock draft 2.0.
Yes, it is. Coming soon, mock draft 2.0.
So in linebacker news, Kyle Van Noy, the trilogy, finally he is released. He was rumored to be released about a week ago or so, and then he was rumored to be getting traded, and now he's released for real this time.
I think any team that needs a linebacker right now is going to get him, or they're
Yeah,
going to go after Bud Dupree, who did not get the franchise tag from the Steelers. But I think just about any team is probably going to get one of these two. I wouldn't be surprised about any team.
yeah, exactly. Like linebackers, there are a fair amount of them that are being in the market this year. Like Dupree, Yannick Ngakoue, and then Calvin Noy, as I just said. But either way, these two are probably the most marquee top of the line free agent linebackers. So wherever they go, they'll be a useful asset to my team. And then back to Van Noy with the Dolphins. That was the most interesting thing ever. That was almost as bad as Anthony Barr with the Jets. I mean, he's supposed to be gone, and then then he's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna trade him. But once you're releasing someone, no one's gonna want to trade for him. There's no point giving up something unless you really need him on your team.
Yeah, like you said, if there's rumors about someone getting released, why trade for him? He's going to get released maybe a week later. Like,
Yep.
what happened?
Yeah. First year in a 4-year deal. A lot of people are not happy about Calvin or leaving. He was very respected in that locker room. He was a big leader too.
Doesn't make sense getting rid of him.
Not at all. This is honestly one of the most surprising releases. Maybe the most surprising. Like right next to like Schwartz and Fisher.
Yeah, those two are definitely surprising.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've already talked about that. That's just dumb. To be nice, just dumb.
That's what happens when you pay your quarterback $500 million.
Hmm.
In running back news, Chris Carson and Aaron Jones are becoming free agents, not getting the tag. I think one of them will go to the Jets, Chris Carson, and the other one will go to the Dolphins.
Aaron Jones.
Yes, Aaron Jones. I think he's going to go to the Dolphins. I think
Yeah,
that's going to
that'd
be,
be good space for him.
yeah, it's a good pickup for them. I also think they're going to get Jamar Chase in the draft. Give Tua some talent. You have Aaron Jones, great running back. Jamar Chase, one of the best talents in the draft, wide receiver wise. And Tua, let's see what he does. With the talent you got. You also got Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki.
Yeah.
You guys went 10-6, almost made the playoffs. Like, see what
Should
you
have
can
made
do
the
next year
playoffs.
with more talent.
Yeah. They'll definitely made the playoffs this year. if they do have all if they do retain all the weapons, which would be surprising, but I can see it happening.
And then I have Chris Carson going to the Jets. Be a
That's
good pick.
possible, yeah.
That'll be a good pickup for them. I feel like they lacked a running back past couple years.
No, we not like a running back. We lacked a coach with a brain between his ears.
All right. I mean, you guys did have Le'Veon Bell.
Uh huh.
He did not pan out, obviously.
There was a coach didn't pan out.
Yeah, so I think the Jets, they need a running game. Um, yeah. Jets, they get a running game. Could help them out in the passing game as well. They get a solid wide receiver. But I think start off with that running game, then try to just keep building that O line and the running game, and then go next in the air.
Yeah. Speaking of the Jets running game, I expect them to at least target Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, and then he'll be back in the same system with the 49ers. Actually be useful.
If you get him, I'm going to be very biased saying the Giants have the better fullback.
I don't care. No one knows who the fuck any fullbacks in the NFL are besides Kyle Juszczyk. You can't even say Anthony Sherman anymore because he
He's tired.
retired.
Eli Penny.
Yep. All right. I don't know what the hell to even talk about anymore.
Yeah, same.
Like, there's so much shit, and like it's just so like hectic.
Yeah.
Should we call it? Should we do we call it quits soon?
Yeah, I'll do the
All right,
outro.
cool.
I'm trying to think of something else. Because we did talk about the Nets getting Blake Griffin, but I feel like that's kind of old news.
Yep.
So I'm not going to include that. I'll include the Lindor extension.
Yeah.
Because he still didn't get extended yet, and it's still kind of a rumor.
Yeah.
That
There's baseball. There's nothing in baseball happening right now.
Yeah, it's just spring training starting.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw this actually earlier today. So Panarin on the Rangers, he's back.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah.
Yeah. So
The bread man.
You want to talk about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Actually, should we talk about that? We don't know what the hell anything is about it.
We're just gonna say he took an leave of absence.
A leave of absence because of the Russian government.
Coming back. Yeah. So Panarin, he had to take a leave of absence after false accusations of him beating up a woman came about in Russia. So he wanted to settle that, I guess. And now he's back with the New York Rangers.
Yeah. I mean, the Rangers have been getting a lot of young talent, and now with Panarin back, expecting a lot more wins to actually occur. I'm not sure about playoffs, but hell, I mean, if you let's say last year, that's possible to get at least try to contend for playoffs. Would not be surprised to see them get like a low seed.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. I think they're still going to try to rebuild a little bit more, and then make the playoffs either next year or in 2 years. I could see that.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Because they're still going to be young, and they're gonna have the talent. Now with NFL free agency, Packers are bringing back running back Aaron Jones on a 4-year, $48 million contract. I'm not a fan of this contract. Aaron Jones, he was a great running back last year, but they also have A.J. Dillon, who showed signs that he could be a very good running back. And I don't think you should be paying running backs a lot of money because they are easily changeable.
Yeah. I mean, running backs are very they could be boom or busts, as everyone knows. Really, very easily replaceable. 12 million is a lot of money when you don't have a lot of money in general to spend. So, I mean, obviously you get back a really good weapon, but it doesn't change the fact that it's money that could be spent better elsewhere, I believe, especially when you have AJ Dillon in the backfield as well.
Now the Patriots are bringing tight end Juju Smith on a 4-year, $15 million contract. I actually like this signing for the Patriots. They're getting Cam another weapon. Give Cam a lot of weapons, see what he can do.
Yeah, exactly. Juju Smith is going to be a big part of this offense, I'm assuming. I know that you were saying Hunter Henry's going there, but Johnny Smith works as well. It's still great for the offense, like we said. Like everyone says, really, that the not Titans, the Patriots really do amazing things with their tight ends, and they set them up for success. And that's exactly what they're doing with Cam Newton and Johnny Smith.
Yeah, just get like big weapons for Cam, see what he can do,
Yep.
basically. And now the Buccaneers, they're bringing back Shaquille Barrett on a 4-year, $72 million contract. This is a great signing for the Buccaneers. Just keeping that defense together, who held the Chiefs to 9 points in the Super Bowl. Just keep that defense.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's a great signing, like you said. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with it at all. They have an amazing defense. It's gonna stay that way now, and like not much to say about it. I mean, they're just gonna be a dominant team again, just like they were last year,
Don't fix what
especially
ain't
come
broke.
playoff time. Exactly.
Some more NFL free agency news. Raiders just signed Yannick Ngakoue. This is a good signing for the Raiders, obviously. Help out that defense. Try to compete in the AFC West. They beat the Chiefs last year. Almost swept them. Probably should have won the second game. That defense just fell apart. So try to get pressure on Mahomes, Herbert, on lock, and just try to compete. There's a chance they could make the playoffs. They normally start off hot and then they end cold, but if they have a good defense, they could stay hot for the rest of the year and get a wild card.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that this is a very team-friendly deal, so that's always a good thing to hear for teams that really need help all over the place. And a edge rusher is extremely good for them, considering the fact that the Chiefs just let go of their two best tackles, two of the best tackles in the entire NFL, for the matter. I think that they'll definitely help them get to after quarterbacks, obviously, get to Mahomes, which is obviously the most important part of that, because if they can't beat Mahomes and the Chiefs, then they're probably not going to make the playoffs. They probably make the playoffs either way, in my opinion. But it's a 2-year, $26 million deal, so yeah, it's very good for the Raiders as they're kind of in not a good spot with their cap room, as they had to release Rodney Hudson for some reason, which was really stupid in my opinion. But yeah, either way, Yannick Ngakoue is a very good signing.
Now the Titans, they signed Bud Dupree. This is a good signing for the Titans. Like Lamar was just he was good against the Titans in that playoff game, and the Titans were not good. Now they have some defense who's gone against Lamar. Maybe he could help them stop Lamar for the most part, but like I don't think so.
I mean, their defense was always like it was a pretty good, fair defense, but they always had the problem of rushers, of edge rushers, and Bud Dupree is really the guy they needed, or either him or Ngakoue. But since Ngakoue's on the Raiders, Bud Dupree is definitely a great signing. He will help out their outside linebacker situation because Javian Clowney didn't help either. So hopefully, after although Dupree did miss a year, I think that he can still return to form he as good as he used to be, and just get after the quarterback.
The football team is bringing in cornerback William Jackson III. Not a fan of the signing. I'm not saying it as a Giants fan, but I heard he's getting paid like 14 million, or I think it was more than that. Like he's getting paid a lot of money, and I'm not a fan of the signing for the football team. I think they have bigger priorities than a cornerback. Maybe try to get a wide receiver. I know they want to try to get Curtis Samuel and Terry. That'll be pretty good. But I'm not a fan of that signing.
Yeah, that's a little bit too much money in my opinion as well. I think that they could have gotten someone else for cheaper. That would have filled the slot very well. That would have filled that position well. But like, it's not the end of the world for them, obviously. But still, you really could have just spent less money elsewhere, I think, or just on another player, and he would have been very serviceable. Not for 14 million.
Now they're also bringing in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Not a fan of this as a Giants fan because it's Fitz magic.
Yeah, it's
And
okay. It's also Fitz tragic.
no, but you see the thing is with Fitz magic, when he was on the Buccaneers and he like went off against the Saints, I think it was like week 1. Guess who had Saints defense in fantasy that week?
You.
Me.
Yeah.
Why? So I don't like the signing.
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick is. So this is really just a backup plan in case Heineke is a one-hit wonder. I think. Like if Heineke just doesn't play well and people like adapt to how he plays, I guess if something happens in the NFL defenses, then you always have Ryan Fitzpatrick as the backup. Um, I guess it's a good signing. It's pretty. It's cheap. It's I think $10 million, if I recall correctly. Um, yeah, I mean Fitzpatrick's just staying around, I guess, just to be around. He wants to start somewhere. It looks like so. Washington is definitely a very good place for him to go to try and compete for the job, since Heineke isn't really locked in yet. And yeah, Kyle Allen isn't the absolute best, so Fitzpatrick should have a pretty good chance of getting that starting job if Heineke does slip.
With other quarterback news, Jameis Winston re-signing with the Saints. I think now him and Taysom Hill are going to be fighting for that quarterback position. This job should be Jameis Winston's job to start. I think he's the better quarterback. I think they're going to do what they did with Hill last year and years before, use him as that wild cat and put him in like different positions. I think Winston should be the starter in New Orleans.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's no reason for him not to start. I mean, the fact that like the Taysom Hill deal has all those avoidable years, it just kind of shows. It's kind of like it makes you think like, oh, they don't really think all that highly of him, but they still think high enough of him to keep him around with that $16 million deal. I think that Winston definitely should be starting this year, though, and then Taysom Hill will be put in for scheme plays that Sean Payton runs because he loves Taysom Hill.
Jacoby Brissett going to the Dolphins. I like this signing for the Dolphins. You have Tua as your starter most likely. If he's not doing good, I think Jacoby Brissett will come in. Brissett, I feel like he's been kind of like unlucky. I feel like that's a good word. That's a good word because he was the backup to Tom Brady. He went to Indianapolis. He was decent for a year, and then Philip Rivers came in, and he was the backup again. So I think there's a chance he might fight for that starting position and maybe get it. But I think that should be Tua's starting job.
Yeah, definitely. Like just like with the football team, the Jacoby Brissett's kind of like a emergency call. I just have a serviceable backup, of course. But yeah, Tua. This is definitely Tua's job. I mean, if they run the same thing they did last year with Fitzpatrick, when they like interchange of quarterbacks, it's going to be absolutely disgraceful. Worst decision ever. Tua is definitely the guy to start here. Jacoby Brissett is still a very good backup just to have in case of an injury or something like that.
And the Bears are signing Andy Dalton. I don't know why they went out and got Andy Dalton. I saw there was a trade. It was I think it was 2 first rounders and something else for Russell Wilson, and the
No
Seahawks
shot
said
Russell
no.
Wilson gets traded. Yeah, he's not. Russell Wilson's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think Wilson's gonna get traded. But the Bears, they wanted Russell Wilson. They wanted Deshaun Watson, and they got Andy Dalton. I think there are better quarterbacks they could have gotten instead of Andy Dalton. I mean, like Mitchell Trubisky. I think he's a better quarterback than Andy Dalton. Um,
Yeah, I
like
don't know if Trubisky even want to go back.
I don't think he wants to.
Yeah, I
Like,
wouldn't want to go back either.
but like poor Allen Robinson though.
Yeah, he's stuck in hell.
Like he should just leave.
Too bad he can't. But yeah, Robinson's gonna have a fun time with Andy Dalton up there in Chicago. Besides that, I mean, and Josh Allen's quarterback next year.
They might
Or
they
yeah,
might get
let me
one
tell
in
you something.
they might get one in the draft this year.
You're gonna draft like Kyle Trask in the second round. Or let me tell you about Sam Darnold. They trade for. They could possibly. But seriously, I think they'll. either stick this year out with a competition between um, Dalton and Foles. They'll probably see whoever's best and then throw them in, win a few games. They probably won't win more than 7 games, honestly. Probably, I think they have like 5 or 6 wins this season, and then just go on to next season. Hopefully, you do better.
I mean, you're not competing with Aaron Rodgers in your division.
Yeah,
It's not happening.
along with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Kyle Fuller, not fullback, the cornerback for the Bears is like there's a chance he does get released or traded, save them $10 million, which is spent on Andy Dalton. So if they lose Fuller as well, then this season's just blown up. You have to just go next season and try again. I think.
Go full on rebuild mode.
Yeah, build around Khalil Mack or you can just trade Khalil Mack away, get a lot of picks back for him.
Yeah, maybe trade him back to Oakland. Who knows?
That'd be crazy.
Maybe trade him to the Giants.
Yeah, try to work.
And more NFC North news, Vikings are bringing in defensive tackle Davin Tomlinson. As a Giants fan, don't like this at all. Wish the Giants brought him back. I'm gonna miss Dalvin Tomlinson a lot. For the Vikings, it's a good signing. Try to put pressure on Rodgers. Maybe you could win in that division with Jefferson, Thielen, Cousins, who's pretty underrated, I think, and work on that defense.
I mean, yeah, it's a really good signing. Obviously, great player, great nose tackle, defense tackle, whatever you want to call it. They'll definitely make a good use of him. They like to sign a lot of good defensive linemen, and well, here we go again. Dalvin Tomlinson, very young. He'll have 2 years on the Vikings, and yeah, that's a pretty fair deal for both sides. All right, so the Patriots got their stimulus check, and they spent a lot. A lot of overpays as well, but we'll get to that later. So, in trading, they get Trent Brown. They re-signed Cam Newton. In free agency, they get Matthew Judon, Hunter Henry, Johnny Smith, Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, Davin Godchuk's, Jalen Mills, Henry Anderson, Dietrich Wise, Donta Hightower, and Patrick Chung, who are returning from being out for COVID last year, Carl Davis, and Justin Bethel. So the big part that really stands out about this is the tight ends. They have 2 amazing tight ends in Hunter Henry and Johnny Smith. The Patriots have not had a great duo of tight ends since they had Robert Gronkowski and Hernandez. I mean, these new tight ends, obviously they're not Robert Gronkowski, but 2 very good tight ends will definitely serve to help Cam Newton. I mean, they're bringing in weapons all over the place to help Cam Newton. As Nelson Aguilar, actually a good player nowadays. Kendrick Bourne, who was definitely, he's not one of the high profile receivers, but he's definitely a very good receiver. He can fit right into that offense, I'm assuming. And I mean, their defense gets a lot better with Donta Hightower coming back, a great linebacker, Patrick Chung, a good safety to have, Jalen Mills as well to fill the other safety slot. I mean, this team improved a lot. They could definitely be a contender to win the AFC East now and compete with the Bills and Dolphins. It would be hard to see them not making the playoffs, honestly, unless Cam Newton doesn't play well. In that case, then they're kind of screwed, in my opinion. But besides that, I think that the Patriots went well this offseason, and they really did just improve all over the place.
I still think they're gonna come in third place.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I think the Bills, they're one of the best teams in the AFC. They're winning that division. Would not be surprised if they beat the Chiefs in the playoffs if they play each other, of course.
Yeah.
I think the Dolphins, like we said before, they went 10-6. I think they're just gonna keep that momentum going into next year. They're gonna draft, protect Tua with Panay Sewell at the third pick. I think they have another pick later on in the first round.
Yep.
Maybe get wide receiver like Rashard Bateman if he's available, of course, and give Tua some weapons. And I think they're gonna come in second. Bills, they're Patriots in third and Jets in last, obviously.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. I think that the Bills kind of have the division locked up, honestly. But like the Patriots definitely can compete. I see the Patriots can definitely. It's very realistic to see them in second place, but I still see the Dolphins making the. I could see all three of those teams making the playoffs, making and then well, obviously two of them having wild card, and then the Jets just sitting in purgatory hell. But then besides that, I mean, I think that the Patriots and will definitely be a contender this year, just to be make the playoffs.
And
Killer
also
set
the
of tight ends.
Bills, they just got Emmanuel Sanders. So you
Yep,
have Sanders, who's pretty good, Cole
of
Beasley,
course.
who was good last year, and Stephon Diggs, who was arguably the best wide receiver last year.
Yeah,
And then you have Josh Allen, who's a top 5 quarterback.
yeah, definitely.
So, no reason why
Yeah,
they shouldn't win that division.
yeah. Unless Bill Belichick just draws up some great schemes. Only way I see them really winning that division. Speaking of the AFC East, the last place team, the New York Jets. Although they did not get any offensive linemen, which should have been their main concern, it probably was, but they just couldn't get anyone really there. They signed at least two very impactful players, and Corey Davis, Carl Lawson, and Gerard Davis, who is less significant but still a good signing for the solid defense. Those three will be a interesting fit. Carl Lawson, the Jets finally get a good edge rusher. They haven't had one in ages. Corey Davis, a true outside number one wide receiver, and as I said before, Gerard Davis, he'll fit into a solid defense just fine, I'm assuming. Pretty aggressive player. But yeah, that's about it from the Jets, but the wide receiver market has not heated up yet as much as we thought it would.
Holiday's still a free agent. Juju is still a free agent. I still think the Giants are gonna get Galladay, or like I don't see any other team trying to get him. I think it's just he's gonna be a Giant. He should be a Giant. Is what I mean. I could see Juju going to the Raiders, maybe to the Jets, but I think I saw the Raiders want to get him. I could see Juju going to the Raiders, doing TikToks in Vegas.
Possible. But yeah, like there's still a lot of very good free agents available, as we said. Like I know Antonio Brown's old, but Brown is still there. Juju's still there. Like Galladay as well. All of these players that haven't signed yet, a lot of the big names really haven't signed anywhere. A lot of the more middle of the road players have signed, which is people like AJ Green to Arizona, really gonna help Kyler Murray. As I said before, Emmanuel Sanders, he's gonna go to Buffalo. John Ross is on the Giants now. John Brown to the Raiders. I mean, these moves are all cheaper moves, and it helps fill in like a little nooks and crannies from these teams that really do need like wide receiver help, but they don't want to go out and spend the entire bank on it on a wide receiver.
With John Ross coming to the Giants, I think it's a good signing for the Giants.
Definitely.
Getting a fast wide receiver, because Daniel Jones, he likes to throw the ball deep. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks that throws it deep. He just gets kind of unlucky with drops and incompletes. But with Ross, he can go deep. Hopefully, he catches it. Also, do some slants with him. He could maybe turn into like a Tyreek Hill type player with his speed. I think it was a very good signing by the Giants. Now, Tyrod Taylor going to Houston. This just means Deshaun Watson's getting traded. No way you bring in a quarterback when you have Deshaun Watson and you put him as your backup. Deshaun Watson, his bags are packed. He's leaving. Just he wants to know where he's going, and he's buying the plane ticket right away.
Deshaun Watson really has to get out of there. There's no reason for him to stay anymore. I mean, they have a quarterback. He might not be as obviously he's not as good as Deshaun Watson, but still, he'll be a very good quarterback. Just to, well, Deshaun Watson will be a good quarterback anywhere. Obviously, he'll upgrade any team. But yeah, he really just. I think his time is definitely over in Houston.
I think the Panthers are going to trade for him.
Who? Oh, Panthers. Yeah,
Panthers, yeah.
I can see that.
They'll go with some picks, probably McCaffrey for Watson. In MLB news, Francisco Lindor said he wants an extension by the end of spring training or he will be testing out free agency. As the Mets, you got to extend the man right now. Just don't wait, just extend him. Get it done with and lock him up. Do the same thing with Conforto and the same thing with Syndergaard.
Yeah, I mean, if for some godforsaken reason he doesn't get extended, that'll be tragic for the Mets. They really have to do something to secure him for the next few years.
If we don't extend him, maybe we get Corey Seager as a shortstop. Who knows? Or maybe we just. I mean, I think we're gonna extend him, and I
Definitely have to
want
extend him.
to extend him.
Yeah.
But it's a big shortstop market next year.
Yeah, well, you're getting. Yeah, I think you want to keep your shortstop then.
Yeah. Drew Brees, one of the best quarterbacks ever, has just retired from the NFL. Let's just wish him a good retirement because he was one of the best quarterbacks ever. He has passing records. He won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it's an honest tragedy that Drew Brees did not win an MVP in his entire career. He's definitely a top, at least top five, at most. He's one of the best quarterbacks ever. Let's say that because everyone just thinks everyone's different of their top five, whatever. But either way, you cannot argue the fact that Drew Brees was still a phenomenal quarterback his almost his entire career.
Up until like his last season, he wasn't like it
He
just
was
looked like
always, yeah,
he didn't have it. Easy first ballot Hall of Famer.
definitely, without a doubt.
Should not be a question.
Yeah. All right, so Drew Brees holds quite a few records. Things like the passing yards. He has thrown for 80,358 passing yards, most in NFL history, first ever to reach 80,000 in general. Although that record may be broken by Tom Brady, who is only like around 1,000 behind him, he still holds that record, along with completions, most completions ever. First player as well with 7,000 completions, ahead of Brady and Favre. Most consecutive games with a touchdown pass, 54. So ever from 2000, from October 18th, 2009 to November 25th, 2012, Drew Brees threw a touchdown pass every single game he played in, which is honestly amazing. I mean, not everyone has their off days, but Drew Brees didn't not seem to have many at all.
Yeah.
He also has the second most passing yards in NFL history at 571. I mean, that is simply phenomenal. I mean, that's all there's to it. Second ever. He's a top 5 in almost every passing stat ever. He really deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, first ballot, no matter what. Amazing career.
Great career, Drew Brees.
Yep.
Now we're going to do our March Madness predictions, but first we're going to go into Duke. They did not make the tournament. They were a very young team this year. We're not that good, and their season ended due to COVID. So hopefully every player on Duke is okay, and hopefully they can make it next year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest college basketball guy at all, but you always know that Duke's like a contending team. You'll see them do good at some point or another. I mean, it just really sucks that COVID still exists and just ruins their chances this year, obviously, even more than they already were.
So the first game, I'm picking Gonzaga. For this game, I think Oklahoma's going to win. It's going to not really be a lot of upsets in the first round. Obviously, Virginia, they're a very good team. USC, Kansas, they're one of the best teams in the country year in, year out. Oregon, Iowa, Baylor. I think if I want to go Wisconsin on this game, see Wisconsin. Oh no. I mean, Wisconsin almost lost to Penn State, but I think they're gonna upset North Carolina. Nova, another team that's good year in, year out. I'll pick Purdue, Texas Tech, Arkansas. I think Virginia Tech could get the upset here, and then Ohio State. Now here I'm gonna pick Ohio State.
There's more, by
Arkansas.
the way.
What's that?
Scroll down.
Yeah, I know there's more. I'm
Okay,
gonna
making sure.
yeah, I'm gonna get back to that. For this game, I'm picking Villanova. They're one of the best teams in the nation year in, year out. And Baylor, here, Gonzaga, Virginia, Kansas. Then I think Oregon's gonna get an upset Iowa. I'm picking Kansas, Gonzaga. I think Villanova's gonna beat Baylor. Ohio State's gonna beat Nova. I mean, Ohio State's gonna beat Arkansas, and then they're gonna beat Villanova in the Final Four. I think Kansas is gonna beat Gonzaga. Now let's go down here. Michigan, they're a very good team. LSU, uh, Georgetown. I just think they're a good team. I've heard their name before, so I'm just gonna pick them. Florida State. I think UCLA is gonna win this game against BYU. Texas. I think Maryland's gonna beat UConn, and Alabama's gonna beat Iona. Illinois is gonna win. Georgia Tech. Tennessee, Oklahoma State. I'm going to pick Syracuse on the upset on San Diego State. Go Orange. West Virginia. I think Rutgers is going to beat Clemson. And Houston's going to beat Cleveland State. Houston's going to beat Rutgers. West Virginia's going to beat Syracuse. I think Tennessee's going to beat Oklahoma State. And Illinois is going to beat Georgia Tech. Over here, I have Michigan beating LSU. Georgetown beating Florida State. Texas beating UCLA. And Alabama beating Maryland. I have Alabama beating Texas. Houston beating West Virginia. Illinois beating Tennessee. And Michigan beating Georgetown. Again, not really a lot of upsets, I guess, because it's 1-2 in the finals here. I think Alabama is going to beat Michigan, and Illinois will beat Houston, and then in the Final Four, I think it's going to be Kansas, Ohio State, and Kansas will win. Tiebreaker. 63 to 69. All right. So I have Kansas beating Ohio State 63-69.
All right, then.
All right. I'm not actually doing that. I'm gonna do that, but I don't want to put it in for this type of bracket. All right. You want to go?
Sure. All right. So, Gonza, Oklahoma, Creighton, Virginia, USC, Kansas, Oregon, Iowa. Like I think this round's not gonna have any real upsets. All right, Baylor, UNC, Nova, Purdue, Texas Tech, Arkansas, Florida, Ohio. All right, so Ohio, yeah. Arkansas, Nova, and Baylor. Then
I'm gonna do this
sure, yeah.
side or this side.
Nova and I think to me Nova, Arkansas. All right. So Gonza, Virginia, Kansas, Iowa, and then for this it's gonna be Virginia, Kansas. And then I take Nova, Kansas. All right. So Michigan, LSU. I think I'm thinking Georgetown as well. Georgetown, Florida State, BYU, Texas, UConn, Alabama. Then Bama, Texas, Florida State, Michigan. All right, Florida State, Texas. All right, yeah, Illinois, Georgia Tech, Oregon State, Oklahoma State, Syracuse, West Virginia. I'm only saying that one Rutgers will win. I
One
think
Rutgers.
Clemson will win, but just pick Rutgers. I have to have some kind of pride. Houston.
I've Rutgers beating Clemson too.
All right, that Rutgers pride keeps on going. They're beating. No, I'm kidding. No, they're beating. They're losing to Houston. Yeah, go Houston. West Virginia. Oregon State. Illinois. All right, Illinois, West Virginia. West Virginia, Florida State. All right, so Kansas. I think they're gonna be and this is a hard part.
Yeah.
I was hoping I wouldn't have to do this. West Virginia.
Virginia.
I think Kansas wins anyway.
Kansas.
Yep. All right.
Tiebreaker.
63-57.
63-57. Kansas wins.
Yep.
All right.
All right. That was completely all knowledge.
Yep, all knowledge from the both of us.
I have definitely watched every single NCAA basketball game this entire season. And my analysis comes down to a T.
I'm excited for March Madness.
Yeah, I mean, just filling in brackets and seeing how good you could do with no knowledge at all is pretty fun to do, actually.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think, like around a year ago, all sports got canceled because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
And now all sports are basically coming back. And they came back.
I'm surprised I didn't watch Madness with all the travel I was going to have to do.
I think they're going to be in like a bubble. Like, I think they're just in a bubble.
That's a lot of teams to bubble, though.
Well, like, there's certain, like, bubbles, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment.